Look, I'm a busy man. Can't find good help these days.
Well, I got looking at the star map to see how far Stanton's system was away so I could get to Hurston, and it was unbelievably far. There was no way my little ship was going to make that. We were talking multiple jump points. So using some of the money that Gatto had so reluctantly donated to me, I was able to book passage, pretty comfortable passages at that, as well as having my ship transported to the system. So then it was just a matter of setting and waiting, and trying to enjoy the surroundings as we made jump after jump after jump. I'd never been off-world before, so when we finally got to the last jump point, I must admit I was a little excited. And then we were there. The Stanton system. Hurston was in sight. I gotta admit, it kind of took my breath away. I was really looking forward to setting my foot down on a new planet. We'd arrived at night, so I didn't have much in the way of an impression of the place. All I could see was lights whizzing by. And then when I finally did get up close and personal, it was a dump. There was garbage everywhere, and it was pretty dirty. But the residences were inexpensive, so I went and got me a room. This is probably considered austere by most people, but for me, it was like a luxury apartment. But I didn't have time to really concentrate on that. I had to get to work and try to get a hold of that Glorp and Gary that Gatto had talked about. Glorp, Gary, you there? Is that you?
Alright, it's your call. Talk to
Hey
me.
there, guys. Yeah, Gatto had said something about getting with you.
Yeah, Gatto said you'd be getting a hold of me, that you were on your way here.
Kind of surprised Gatto's still helping, but okay. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. End of the day, though, I can do what you need me
All right,
to do.
cool. So on this recorder,
Whoa. Let's not talk about that recorder thing here, even on an encrypted network. Meet me tomorrow, 1300, at Reclamation Disposal. And be careful out there. I'll find you.
you got it. All right, he signed off. He didn't want to be recognized, apparently, with that dark video, and then he used some sort of voice changer, so I guess he wanted to remain anonymous. Oh well, don't say I blame him. So then I went out and found Reclamation Disposal. I was a little surprised to see that there were security guards guarding the trash. Oh well, no accounting for taste. Strangely enough, of all the places I'd seen so far, this one made me feel more like home. Amazing what you get used to growing up. Well, I'd reached my location, but I wasn't sure how I was going to find him. I saw some other people standing around, more security.
Over here, to your left.
But,
Come here. Come on, don't just stand there, you look suspicious, come on.
well, while there's few things I'd rather do than walk into a dark alley and meeting an unknown person, I headed that way.
I know it's a lot to take in. Take some deep breaths. Try to collect yourself. And let's move on, shall we? Hey there, Hawk. We are Glorp and Gary.
Oh, sorry, I just wouldn't expect, yeah, do I call you
Wait,
Glorp, Garrett,
Okay,
y'all?
wait a minute. Hold on.
I don't.
Let's go ahead and get the hard part out of the way first. I am a symbiotic being. Gary is the host. Glorp is a symbiote. We are
Okay.
one, and we work together. And we're very good at what we do.
All right, so about this flight recorder.
Okay, so you're wanting this flight recorder hacked. Well, let me say, we are probably the best you will find at that. We have an amazing head for cipher. Not sure which one of us brings that, but it's
I don't know what Gatto said, but I do have money.
Yeah, like I said, Gatto said you were coming.
Okay, so I'm surprised he's still helping.
Well, he's really not as bad a guy as you may think he is. He has to play a part to be Azun's job.
Okay, so could I ask you how you guys actually met?
All right, that is an outstanding way to ask that. People ask me, what's wrong with your face? What happened to you guys? Well, it started way back. Gary was a crew member in a long-haul cargo vessel, a Caterpillar to be specific. He went down unexpectedly on a planet and he was the sole survivor, the rest of the crew dying in the process. He was lucky in that the most of the cargo was foodstuffs, so he was not going to starve to death. But there was still a very big danger of running out of water or oxygen. So he did what he could to save all the oxygen and water that was on board the ship for the crew. But as time went by, it started to diminish. He had exhausted most of the regular methods, and now he was looking at some other options. Some very distasteful options. But as he was pondering this, he heard a noise back in the engine compartment. So having nothing better to do, he went back to investigate. And that's where Gary met Glorp. Or I guess I should say, Glorp found Gary. Glorp had never found a human before. Didn't know anything about him. All he knew is he needed to survive. So he burrowed through Gary's helmet and attached himself. They could communicate non-verbally and share thoughts and ideas and emotions. Fortunately, Glorp had the ability to filter out the toxins in the atmosphere as well as in the water. And Gary could provide nourishment by the food that he could eat. So together they both survived. And together they also fought off the loneliness by being able to communicate with each other, and they became close. Then one day, hearing a noise outside the ship, they turned the corner and there was another ship had come to salvage the Caterpillar. So they quickly caught a ride back to civilization and had to fight hard to stay together. They've come to find out that it's not an easy task, but we feel we're worth it. We're very close. So anyway, back to your issue. You have the flight recorder, right?
Yes.
All I'm gonna need is some time, some money, and a small human child to eat. You can provide that, right?
You cannot be serious. I am not bringing you a human child to eat.
Oh my! I might just
No!
have to eat all the meat off of your hands or something.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? Oh my gosh!
Oh, I'm sorry. That's alien humor. Oh my gosh, you should see your face. That is funny. Yeah, you don't have to bring me a child. I'm just messing with you. Alrighty. So anyway, I am your guy. We will get that cracked. As soon as you get it to me, we'll get started.
Well, I thought since I had a lot of time, I would go looking around my surroundings here in Lorville. I was struck by the openness of the ritzy areas, the gold-plated, the polished marble, the scented air, the artificial lushness, and the ever-present security. Compared to that, down lower in the city, you could see poverty reigned. Maintenance had slipped, parts were missing. There was clutter everywhere, garbage stacked up in the corners. The ever-present dirt and pollution and clutter. Yeah, Lorville was a strange dichotomy. But I also found fast food, and I loved it. Well, sitting around in the Hab common area, everybody watching their news feeds on their Moby Glass.
Top story. The UEE has issued an advisory for a wanted pirate and murderer. Pictured here, Thomas O'Hawk
What?
is wanted in connection to a brutal slaying of a
that's
family
me.
while conducting pirate operations.
Whoever was after
in
me
the
had
Sol
definitely
system.
upped the ante a good bit.
O'Hawk is presumed armed and extremely
They had
dangerous.
found a way to get other people
So
to
if
try to
spotted,
hunt me
please
down. Oh my
report
gosh, I was going to have to
authorities
get off the
immediately.
radar.
His complete data file is available
Try to get
for
myself a
download
little
on
less
your mobile
recognizable.
device.
I wasn't quite sure how I was going to pull
After
this
the
off in
break,
a strange city.
Our own Bill Caruthers will be reporting on the upcoming Invictus Fleet Week.
I found one of the
We'll be
plastic
right back.
respirator hoods in a trash can and stuck it over my head trying to obscure my face. It didn't smell good, but it did the trick. And then later I found an old ratty jacket I could put on that would help me blend in. Nobody seems to see homeless people. I was trying to become a gray man. I traded my luxury apartment for a damp mattress out in a Connex box on the edge of town. And instead of having my newfound fast food cuisine, I was now living off of other people's cast-off food. I had hit rock bottom. The only hope I had right now was that Glorp and Gary could come up with something on that flight recorder that maybe I could use to get me out of this mess. The dirty days passed slowly.
Hey, Hawk. Good job. Well, I got you. It's payday for me, thanks to you. I can bring you in dead or alive. But bring you in dead is a lot easier.
Gato, what the hell are you doing here?
El Gato always ensures the security of his investments. Plus, whoever's behind sending their hit squad after El Gato needs to pay for their indiscretion.